I've had such a busy week hosting a catwalk, presenting a talk, and shopping at the Knit and Stitch Festival. Hi, I'm Yvette, co-founder of the Stash Hub Sewing Organizer app. And after the success of Sew Sorted, I wanted to get into doing a bit more long form content so that you guys can have more of a peek behind the scenes and know what I'm up to and how I'm using Stash Hub for my own personal sewing, which will hopefully inspire you to use the app for yours. So I've had a lot going on this week because it has been the Knit and Stitch show at Alexandra Palace in London. So I was there on the Thursday and the Sunday, and it was really good fun. I love going to the shows because they are such a good way to meet in person with all of your sewing friends that you meet online and get to say hi to all your favorite small business owners as well. Obviously, there is a lot of temptation to buy things, so I will show you my haul in a little bit. I'm going to talk you through what I got up to in kind of chronological order so that you can come along for the ride with me if you didn't manage to make it to Knit and Stitch this time. But if you did make it to the show and you popped by and said hi to me, that really means a lot. So on the Thursday, I went up to Alexandra Palace, which is in North London. So it's a bit of a trek across the whole of London. So I went up there with Doug, my husband, who also runs Stash Hub with me, and my mum, because she was coming to model on the catwalk with me. So the catwalk was at 2 p.m. and we had a lovely group of models. So I'll put in some video footage from the catwalk whilst I'm telling you about it. So the catwalk was called Stash to Style, and the whole concept was to showcase garments that people from the sewing community had made with fabrics from their own stashes, and each make had a different story behind it that taught us a different lesson about how we can get inspired to use our stashes. And it all ties in with the Stash Hub mission of helping you to fall in love with your stash. So that was really good fun. I'm really grateful to all the models for taking part, and they all had a really good time on the catwalk, and we had a massive and really supportive crowd as well. I wish I'd got a little film from where I was standing on the stage so you guys could see the crowd, but that was really lovely, a really good feeling to be kind of part of the community and to get to showcase other people's makes as well. And then my mum was also part of that catwalk, and she wore a dress that I had made for her because my mum actually doesn't sew herself. She just really loves being there at the show. She loves all the people. She says it's such a good environment. And we have done the catwalk together a couple of times at previous shows. So this was her first time at Knit and Stitch. She's been to the Stitch Festival previously. And we've done catwalks walking as a pair before. Because I was hosting this time, obviously I wasn't walking, but she did the catwalk by herself in an outfit that I had made for her, and she was really excited to be able to take part in that. And I made her a tried and true pattern, which is the Betty dress, which I've made a couple of times for her before. So I know that she really likes it, and I already know that it fits her as well, because I knew that I wouldn't be able to do any fittings during the making process for this dress. And I used the oldest fabric in my stash that I bought in my first ever fabric haul back in 2021. And then the skirt is made from a skirt that belonged to my late nan, so my mum's mum, and I combined them together to make her this dress. So this project is actually going to be my Sew Upcycle 25 make for that challenge. So I'll pop the details of the challenge on the screen now if you are tempted to join in. The reveal date for that challenge isn't until the 31st of October, so I will post more on Instagram, probably on my personal Instagram, Blossom Sandwich. I'll post more about the process of doing that make and you know, what it meant to me being able to sew up that sentimental fabric into something that my mum could wear, and the fact that she got to wear it on the catwalk as well. So I'll be posting more about that on the reveal day, the 31st of October, for that challenge. So that was the catwalk. It was really good fun. We had an amazing group of models, and yeah, it was amazing. So I'll probably be posting more about that in the future. And then the rest of the day on the Thursday, I was helping on the Bornella Fabrics stand with Tanya. And if you don't know about Bornella Fabrics, they are really focused on sustainable fabrics, but also really colourful and fun fabrics. So yeah, that goes to show that sustainability doesn't have to be all plains and all neutrals if you still want to have some colour in your wardrobes. So she sources all natural fibres and kind of more traceable fabrics. So that was really good fun working with Tanya. We recently hosted the London sewing swap together, so it was really nice to be able to hang out again. And obviously I got tempted by looking at all of the Bornella fabrics on the stand during the day, so I did get quite a large proportion of my haul from Bornella, so I'll show you that in a minute. And I also had to go on the iconic vending machine as well, so I'll show you the labels that I won as well. So that was a really good day on Thursday, and then I actually didn't go to the show on the Friday and the Saturday. I have done every single day of these sewing shows before, and it is really exhausting. So I was like, oh, it would be nice to, you know, have a little break on the days in between. But then you're hit with the FOMO when you see a lot of people going on a day when you're not there. So that's a bit sad, because I think a lot of the sewing bees from the latest series were there on Friday. So obviously I missed all of them coming to the show, but I still got to see loads of wonderful people on the days that I was there. Then on the Sunday, I was back at the show because I was giving a presentation about Magic Mockup. So I think Magic Mockup is one of my favourite features in Stash Hub. I'm not going to talk too much about the content of the talk here because I've uploaded the whole talk to YouTube, because my mother-in-law came to the show that day, Doug's mum, and she filmed the whole talk. So I was able to put that all up on YouTube if anyone wasn't able to come and watch it. I know even people that were at the show that day didn't manage to make it to the talk because it's just so overwhelming at these shows. There's so much to look at and so many people to talk to. So yeah, no worries if you didn't make it to the talk. I'll pop in a link. I'll put in a card and I'll put a link in the description as well if you want to check out that talk to find out how Magic Mockup it can help you to combine pattern line drawings with fabric photos to create really inspiring visualizations of your projects to encourage you to get sewing and to use up fabrics in your stash. So that was really good fun as well. I was weirdly more nervous to do that talk, the Magic Mockup talk, than I was to host the Catwalk. And I think it was because I was just a bit more exposed for the Magic Mockup talk because it was just me on the stage and I was really trying to kind of promote my business. And I was just really hoping that everyone kind of got what I was trying to say and enjoyed it. Whereas the Catwalk was a bit more social and there were other people, you know, coming on the stage, and it was more about them really and all the amazing outfits that they'd created. So yeah, I was a bit more nervous for the Magic Mockup talk, but nowhere near as nervous as when I did my first ever talk on the stage at one of the sewing shows. And the sound team at Immediate, which is the company that runs Knit and Stitch and the Stitch Festival, the sound team and the team of engineers are like really lovely people as well. So they're giving me kind of a little pep talk backstage as well. So that was really nice too. I know this is what you guys are really here for, seeing my haul. So the first thing I will show you is things that my mum picked when she came to the show on the Thursday. So I stayed at the show a little bit later than my mum and Doug because they left earlier to beat the rush hour, and I stayed until the end of the show to help Tanya on the Bornella Fabric stand. So when I got home, there was a little surprise waiting for me on top of my sewing machine. So my mum had picked up a fabric and a pack of labels. So I'll show you the labels first because this will give a lot of context as to what this situation was on the top of my sewing machine. So these are some labels from Little Rosy Cheeks that say made by my daughter, because my mum really loves it when I make dresses and things for her. So she was really excited to find out that Victoria was doing these made for my daughter labels. And I actually saw Victoria on the Sunday, and she said it was really funny when my mum came to the stand and wanted to buy these made for my daughter labels. So that's clearly a sign that my mum's enjoying what I've made for her, and that I should be making more for her, I guess. So yeah, I usually tend to sew just for myself, because I just feel it's so much more pressure to sew for other people. But I do really love sewing for my mum, because I know that she really appreciates the things that I make, and she does wear them and they're extra special to her. So I don't mind making things for my mum. So yeah, I thought that was quite funny. And then this is the fabric that she picked. So it's a beautiful, colourful floral. I really like the scale as well, because it's like not too ditzy, but it's not like a large scale print. So it's not, it's not like you're limited in what you can make without breaking up the print too much. So it's got all the colours of the rainbow on kind of an ivory background. And this is a cotton lawn. So it's really nice and fine. Not too heavy. I might need to line it, so I might look out for some kind of cotton voile or just some other cotton lawn to do a lining. She's bought 2 meters, and she quite fancies me to make her another dress for the spring. So I am pretty like crazily busy all the way up until the end of the year. So maybe I'll make her this actually in the springtime next year. But I gave her my stash hub so that she could browse my pattern collection, which is now over 200 patterns somehow. So that she's got a lot of options. But then she was like, oh, I quite like this design. And it was the Sew Over It Betty dress, which is the one that I've already made for her, that she wore in the catwalk. And I've made her another one previously as well. So that was a good sign that she still really likes the look of that design. So I'm thinking I might do another Betty, and maybe if I've got enough fabric, add a kind of ruffle to the bottom of the hem, just to make it a little bit more fun and flirty. My mum's really into like dancing. She goes to like a dancing club in the evenings to do kind of like ballroom and Latin dancing. So she loves to wear her dresses that I make to that. And she said that some people come to the club and they say, oh, I'm not even that into dancing. I just come to this club to see what you'll be wearing each week. So yeah, she really enjoys that. So I'm going to save this in my stash until next year and see when I get a chance to sew something up for my mum. And then the next purchase that I made, I was looking at Indian block print fabrics for my dad. So I think it was around Easter time that I made a shirt for my dad. Yeah, it must have been, because he chose the fabric at the Stitch Festival, and he was like, oh, I've seen a really nice fabric that I think would look like really good as a shirt. And I was like, okay. And he was like, you always make things for mum. Yeah, and I've seen this nice fabric. So I said to him, well, do you want me to make you a shirt? Is that what you're asking? And he was like, oh, that would be nice. I was like, well, you only had to ask. I don't want to make you something if you aren't interested, because obviously that takes a lot of my time. So I said, okay, show me this fabric that you like the look of, and then I'll make you a shirt. So I did that in the spring around Easter time, and instead of getting chocolate for my parents, I made them each a garment. So I made this shirt for my dad, and apparently he still is wearing it all the time, and he's really obsessed with it. And because the shop that I bought it from at the Stitch Festival is called Cloth Atelier, and they do a kind of make of the month on their Instagram. So when I shared the shirt that I'd made for my dad, I tagged the fabric shop, and they reposted it as their make of the month. So whenever he wears this shirt now that I made for him, he goes around telling everyone, oh, this is my award-winning shirt that my daughter made. So anyway, that was a bit of probably unnecessary preamble. But anyway, I was looking at more Indian block print fabrics for my dad to see if there was another design that I could make another shirt for him at some point, since that I have now been commissioned to make another dress for my mum, and I didn't want him to feel left out again. But I find it really hard to choose a Indian block print fabric, especially at the show, because there's so many options and there's so many colors and they're all so beautiful and so unique. So I find it really difficult to like make a pick. Anyway, when I was wandering around the show, this one fabric really caught my eye, and it was on a different stand, a brand that I wasn't familiar with. So I remembered that I'd seen it, and then I kind of had to wander around the whole Great Hall again to try and see if I could see it again. So this is the fabric. It really caught my eye because I just absolutely love the colours in it. So hopefully the colours are getting picked up by the camera, but you can see it's got this really gorgeous, quite a greeny teal background. And then it's got the pink and the orange. So yeah, originally I was looking for my dad, but I just love this fabric so much. And I think with the teal and then the orange to bring out my hair, like, this is just going to look so good on me. I'm not sure I can bear to part with it. So I ended up getting 3 meters. So this again is quite sort of spring, summer. And like I said, I haven't got much time until the end of the year. But yeah, it's really lovely, lightweight cotton. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to sewing that up, and it might end up turning into a dress for me, but I haven't got any firm plans yet. So let me know if you've got any ideas of what I should make with this gorgeous fabric. Yeah, I wasn't in the market really to buy myself any fabric for myself, but yeah, I just saw that and I thought, you know what, I'm never going to see this exact print again, because often these Indian block prints are quite small runs because they are literally handmade. Like they stamp them, you know, each stamp by stamp. So yeah, I thought this has to come home with me. The shop for this was called An Indian Summer. So yeah, I'll put links to everything in the description. So yeah, I need to get this one added to my stash hub. So then my next purchases are all kind of a set. So I'll show you them together. So these 3 all came from Bornella Fabrics, and I've been eyeing them up whilst I was helping on the stand on Thursday. So the star of the show really is this piece. So this is the new Super Bloom sweatshirting. So you might remember that I already have this print in the cotton, and I've made a kind of shirt dress with it. And I really love it, and I just love all the colours in this. But this is a jersey, and it's got a kind of fleecy back, but it's not too thick. Like some fleece back sweatshirtings are super thick and have quite a lot of polyester in as well, whereas this is a cotton sweatshirting. So I think it's going to be really cozy, but without being too sweaty. And I've got this set that I made with fabric that was actually also from Bornella Fabrics that I wear all the time in the autumn and winter when I'm at home. I just can't be wearing clothes at home. I don't know if anyone else is like this. I just love to be cozy and comfy. So I thought I can maybe give that set a break whilst it's in the wash every now and then, and I've got to have another colourful set to wear. So I got 3.5 meters of this, and I'm planning to make joggers and a sweater. So my previous set was the Arden pants by Helen's Closet, which is actually a woven pattern, but I've never made it woven. I've made it like kind of as joggers a few times, and I really like that. So I might stick with that. And then my favorite top is like the hoodie, the page hoodie, but I haven't quite yet decided whether I'm going to do another page hoodie or whether I should make a sweatshirt without a hood, just in case it gets really, really chilly this winter and I want to like sleep with the sweatshirt on, because it's not that comfy to sleep with a hood under you. So yeah, let me know your favorite sweatshirt patterns if you've got any. And then this is just black ribbing, because you can't really see, there's not much black on this, but there's actually a black background on this fabric. So I've just got a black ribbing that I'm going to use for like the cuffs of the sleeves on the sweatshirt, the cuffs of the ankles on the trousers, and I might use it for the waistband as well on the joggers, just to have a little bit of contrast and also make it less bulky to sew. So that is a project that I am looking forward to do that top and bottom to the matching. And then just to go fully cozy and comfy with this set, I also bought this green brushed ribbed jersey. So I thought the green of this fabric is almost a perfect match with the green in these flowers. So I thought this would make a really good t-shirt to wear with this loungewear set. So I've got 1.5 meters of this. So I've got enough probably to do a long sleeve top if I want to. But yeah, I can't, by means of video, I cannot describe to you how soft this fabric is. It is absolutely gorgeous. And I've used this fabric twice, like not this color, but there are loads of colors available. So I've used a khaki one to make a top for Doug, and I've made a t-shirt for myself in a kind of blue, like a mid-blue sort of color. I think they call it like storm blue or something maybe. But anyway, this is like a green one. I think this color is going to look really good on me, and it's so soft. Like, yeah, if you are in the market for something soft, or if you know somebody who like has a thing for really soft clothes, yeah, have a look up for some of this brushed viscose ribbed jersey. It is so nice, and there are lots of colors as well. So yeah, I'm happy with that purchase. So those are all of my fabrics. Let's add the Bornella Fabrics sweatshirting to my own stash hub. So this is my stash here, and this is the web version of Stash Hub. So this is at web.stashhubapp.com on my computer, and you can use the web version alongside the app if you're using the app on your phone. All you need to do is log in with the same Stash Hub account, and the web version and the app version of Stash Hub have all the same features. So I'm going to stay in my fabric section, which is my home page, and then to add my fabric, I'm going to click on this menu in the bottom right and tap Magic Input. So it's asking me for the URL, which is the web address of the fabric. So this is now online on Bornella Fabrics, so I can copy this URL, paste it into the box, and I bought 3.5 meters, so I can add that in there, and then press submit. And then what Magic Mockup does is it extracts all the information out of the listing, including the pictures, so that I don't have to take pictures myself and write out all the information, because Tanya's already done that for me on her website. So these are all the pictures. I'm going to keep all of them, so I'm just going to click done. And then it will get the information for me as well. So there we go, that's how quick it is. And you can see in this picture what the kind of fuzzy back looks like. So I can click on this button that says reorder. So it looks like 4 lines on top of each other. And I can open that, and then this will allow me to put the pictures in any order I like. So there are these little drag handles to the right, and I think I want this second picture here to be the first image, which makes it the main cover image for that record in Stash Hub. So if I click onto the drag handle and then just drag and drop the picture into the order that I want it. So I'll show you again, click and drag. And then when I'm happy with the order that they're in, I'm just going to click done. And then I've got the name, the description, my length, the width, all that information. I'm just going to scroll down to check that it is all correct. I'm going to change the date to Sunday, because that's when I bought this fabric, Bornella Fabrics, and then it's got all of the lovely colours in there. Yeah, and I haven't pre-washed it yet, so I'll check that off when I have washed the fabric. So that is now in my Stash Hub. So when I press back, it's there on the list with the rest of my new fabrics. Let's count up how many meters have been added. So I've got 2 and then another 3, so that's 5, and then 6 with the ribbing, and then 3.5 plus 1.5. So we've got another 5. So we've got 11 meters of fabric added to my stash, which is more than I was hoping for. So if I check my Stash Hub stats, I am indeed now over my self-imposed meterage limit of 100 meters of fabric in my stash. So I've definitely got some sewing to do, but hopefully it'll go down quickly because I've got a few things that are like long bits of meterage that are intended for the same project, like with the matching joggers and jumper. Like I'll probably do that project at the same time, so that will work me through that 3.5 meters there. But there's also the Surrey Sews swap coming up that I'm involved in organising in Woking. So that's coming up on the 8th of November. So I will be able to have a little assessment of my stash, and if there's anything that I can let go of, then maybe I'll be able to reduce my stash down a little bit at the swap as well. So I'll put a link to the details of the swap in the description as well. So yeah, so swap's always great to just get some like fresh ideas in your stash and rehome things that maybe aren't inspiring you so much. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That is going to be my next sewing community event that I attend. So I am one of the kind of co-founders of Surrey Sews. And yeah, I'm really devastated actually that I can't make it to Sew Fizz. The Sophisticated event is happening in like this weekend and I can't make it. So I'll be there in spirit, but my bodily self is actually going to be at a wedding. So that is a shame that I can't make it to that event, but I hope that you guys all have a fabulous time at Sew Fizz. I actually haven't finished showing you my haul yet. I've got a few little bits as well as my fabric. So one of the other things that I picked up with no real need for it, I just really liked it, was a set of these vintage buttons, and they are like glass buttons. You can tell that by the weight of them in the packet. So I won't be able to use them on fabric that's too lightweight, I guess, but they're just so pretty. And I think that kind of vintage glass buttons, they just don't make buttons like this now. So that was from Susie Sharp Vintage. They also had really cute ribbons on their stands. That would be so good for children's wear or just adding cute little details to your makes. But I resisted the urge to buy loads of these ribbons because I don't have any projects coming up that I like call for ribbon, and I was like, I'm not gonna just, you know, buy a ribbon and then have to make up a whole new project so that I can use this ribbon. But I'm definitely going to bear that in mind if any future projects kind of strike me like they would do really well with an inclusion of a ribbon, because they were really cute. And then another thing that I bought was actually a gift for my friend Natalie. So this is from Ethel & Joan. So I always love visiting Louise at Ethel & Joan. And these are some stitch markers for knitting. So I'm not much of a knitter myself. I've done a few things, but I find my tension is very tight. I'm not very relaxed knitter. I'm doing a terrible job of demoing these, but hopefully you can see they are little clouds, all different colours. And I just thought that was really cute addition to a knitting kit. Another purchase that I'm going to show you is not very interesting, but it is practical, and it's a refill for my glue pen, which I love to use to just put a little bit of glue to hold a label in place when I'm sewing it in, and it just makes it so much easier than like pinning it and then you have to take the pin out, but then there's nothing to hold it in place. So yeah, I love these little bits of glue, and I really recently installed my last refill that I had. So I was like, oh, while I'm at the show, I'll grab some more of these, and you can get them from Little Rosy Cheeks. So that's another handy acquisition. And then the last thing from my haul that I've got to show you are my labels that I got from the vending machine at Bornella Fabrics. So there is a new collection of labels at Bornella called Let's Hibernate, and they are really cute labels. So I'll show you the ones that I've got, and I'll show you me adding them to Stash Hub. The first one that I won out of the vending machine is this one, Cold Hands, Warm Heart. And then another one that I've got is Secret Pajamas. And I had fun explaining to somebody at the show the concept of secret pajamas, when you make clothes that are so comfy. They are outdoor clothes, but they kind of feel like you're wearing pajamas out in public. So yeah, I love some secret pajamas for myself as well. And then I've got a snug as a bug in a rug, which I think is a fun little saying as well. So I might have to put this one into my new loungewear set when I get around to making that. And then I got another Cold Hands Warm Heart, but the last one in the series is a little piece of toast that says warm and toasty. So yeah, I'm sad I didn't win that one, but yeah, it's really fun to play the Bornella vending machine. So do have a go on that if you get the chance at a future show. Let's switch over to Notions so that I can add my new labels. So if I go into labels, this is my lovely collection of labels, and then I can add new. And then because it's quite hard to take pictures of Notions myself, I can actually use pictures from the Bornella Fabrics website. So this is the warm and toasty one, which I didn't manage to win in the vending machine, but I've got the others. So let's copy link address for that image. And then where it says add photo, I can add an image from a URL. And then that will paste the picture, the nice one that Tanya has taken with good lighting and everything, into my stash hub. I'm going to call it Secret Pajamas. And then I don't tend to fill in a lot of this information for my labels, but you can record as much detail as you like. So I've only got one of those. I'm going to put in the shop as Bornella Fabrics, put the date as Sunday, and the price as £1, because that's how much it costs to have a go on the vending machine. So then when I go back, I've currently got these sorted by name order, but if I change it to date added, new to old, you'll see that there. And then I might think, oh, that looks a little bit small. So I can click into the image and then click edit in the top right, and I can crop the image so that the picture of the design looks a bit bigger on my label. So let's see how that looks. There we go. So now it's a bit easier for me to read what's on that label when I am browsing my label collection. And I can also record the location. So I'm going to figure out which of my boxes has got space for my label, and then I will add that in there. So I will show you again, just in case that was too speedy. I'll do the next one as well. So let's do Cold Hands Warm Heart. So right click on the image on the website, click copy link address, then switch back to Stash Hub, and then add new. And I find it much easier to do this copy and pasting URLs on the web version of Stash Hub than on the app version on the phone. So then click on add photo from a URL, paste that in there, and you can see in there it says .jpeg, which means that I have copied the correct thing, and I've got the link to the image rather than just the website as a whole. And then I click submit, and then I can call it Cold Hands Warm Heart, and then I can do the cropping again, clicking on edit, and then just adjusting the crop box as I please. There we go. Brilliant. And you can see this is the back of the label where it's got the Bornella Fabrics logo. So I think these labels are really cute, and I've got 2 of these ones. I think they would be a really cute one to go on like a pair of mittens or something if you were making mittens. Where I've got 2, I could put 1 in each mitten. So that's something I'll have to think about. I'll put in the shop as well. So I could have duplicated this record because a lot of the things are the same. Let me show you the duplicate. So when you go into a record, these little 3 dots in the top right are a menu. So one of the options is to duplicate, and then it will create another record that says copy. So I am going to make it the Snug as a Bug in a Rug label, which is quite fun to say. So if I copy image address again, go to Stash Hub, I can click on this image, use the little bin icon at the bottom to delete it, and then add photo as we've done before from URL, paste that one in. There we go. Need to update the name, Snug as a Bug. And then the only thing that's different is that I've only got one of these, and then the other information like the shop and the date and the price has been copied over from my other record. So I can go back and then I can see my new labels have been added to my Stash Hub. So yeah, that is what I got up to at Knit and Stitch this week. So let me know in the comments if you were also at the show and what you got up to. And I'm going to be checking out everyone's hauls as well, because there's so much at the show. Different people see different things, and I'll probably end up getting FOMO for all the things that I didn't get, but I certainly got enough, so I can't complain there. And the Harrogate Knit and Stitch is coming up soon, and I will be at Harrogate, and I'll be doing another Stash to Style catwalk. So it'll be the same format but different makers, so there'll be different outfits to appreciate. So if you're at the Knit and Stitch Harrogate show on the 20th of November, do come and see that show and come and say hi if you see me there. And I'm also going to be at the Harrogate show on Saturday, which I think is the 22nd of November, and I will be doing my talk again about Magic Mockup. So maybe don't watch the YouTube recording of my Magic Mockup talk if you're going to come to the Harrogate show, because then you can see it in the flesh and join in with the Q&A as well. So that's what I've been up to. Hopefully catch up with you guys soon on another video. And we always have a Stash Hub live on the second Monday of every month. So if you want to come and catch up in a more chatty environment, you can come along to the next Stash Hub Zoom social. So the next one is on the 10th of November. So hopefully see you there if I haven't got another video out by then. Bye.